Radhe Shyam, and welcome. The Life of Love. The biography of Srimad Radharaman Charan Das Dev, the veritable embodiment of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's universal religion of love, by Dr. o.b.l. Kapoor. Have been several episodes where we have been through the story of Sri Radharaman Charan Das Dev, scenes and events that are absolutely out of this world, such as bring the life to a dead body, to take a dead person and to bring it back to life, to make the trees to dance, to make the animals to lose their body condition and to start singing the Harinam. Such incredible stories we have, but the Baba is possible the biggest figure right after Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu post-Chaitanya era. From Dignagara, Babaji Mahasai went to Bavla in Shantipur, the place where Advaitacharya Prabhu had performed his sadhana. The memory of the Advaitacharya brought forth Satvika bhavs, and he fell senseless on the ground. On regaining consciousness, he got up with a start and danced and sang in praise of Advaita Prabhu. After passing the day in dance and kirtan in Shantipur, the next morning Babaji Mahasai went to the temple of Vrindavan Chandra in Guptiparha and performed dance and kirtan before the deities. From Guptiparha, he started with his party for 𝐼𝐨𝐫𝐤𝐴. The famous Bipin Bihari Goswami of 𝐼𝐨𝐫𝐤𝐴 was with him, dancing and singing all the way. They reached the temple of Madan Gopalji at 𝐼𝐨𝐫𝐤𝐴. Is this Bipin Bihari Goswami ji the same that gave Diksha, the guru of Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Possible, yes. They are connected, similar time. After dancing and singing in ecstasy for a long time before Madan Gopalji, they took prasad in the temple. The Sevites, the priests of the temple, were very happy to have Babaji Mahasai in their midst. On their assistance, he had to stay there for a number of days, after which he took leave of them with great difficulty and started for Kalna, dancing and singing. Bhajo Nitai Gauranga Radhe Shyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. As soon as the sound of Sankirtan was heard in Kalna, the people of the village began to come and dance and sing with him. There was no end to their happiness. Babaji Mahasai was going ahead and they were following him. Nobody knew where they were going. Babaji Mahasai was dancing in a peculiar style, with one leg placed upon the other crosswise. The place was hilly, with so many ups and downs, but this did not make any difference to him. He was going swiftly, and it appeared that not his feet, but only the two toes of each foot touched the ground. The followers found it difficult to keep pace with him. He was going like one who was well acquainted with the lanes by lanes of the place, without pausing anywhere to look about or inquire from somewhere about the road. We remember one interesting fact about Sri Radharaman Charan Das Dev, that wherever he went, every single place that he visited for first time, he knew exactly from which road he must to take and to reach destination. It's absolutely incredible. It's so beautiful, really. So beautiful. Such a personality, such a empowered Vaishnav was between us here in this earth just not long ago. I was studying in this after Aarti morning. I was studying another book by Brajgopal Das Agarwal. I want to share with you one paragraph. Yes. Happens that Ramdas Babai Maharaj, who is in the middle of the picture, he was with Radharaman Charan Das Dev in Vrindavan. Actually, they were at that time in Govardhan area, where is Kutsum Sarovar. Beautiful place where so many sadhus, Siddha Mahatmas have been living, counting Siddha Krishnadas, that he was doing the Smaranam, and from where he wrote the Smaranam work book instructions. Well, Kutsum Sarovar has a beautiful surface of water in some area, and Ramdas Babai Maharaj explained himself that he saw to Barha Babai Maharaj walking on water. Walking on water. In the middle of his kirtan and harinam, he was chanting, and on the power of the harinam, Sri Ramdas saw to Radharaman Charan Das Dev walking, chanting and dancing on top of the water. This had been, I remember, only about Jesus, that explained that Jesus was walking on water. But was only walking. Radharaman Charan Das Dev chant and dance on top of the water of Kutsum Sarovar. Absolutely wonderful, mystical. There are not words for explaining this, how he can do all this on the power of Harinam. I remember that also we read here in the book, or I read in some other biographies of Radharaman Charan Das Dev, that sometimes people or devotees ask him how he has this power, how he can be so powerful and to do all these miracles. And he say, the Nama and Nimi are no different. The Harinam, the name of Krishna, and Krishna are no different. When we chant the name of Hari, counting of course Nitai Gauranga, the power is there. What makes the difference between Sri Radharaman and we, basically, is that the power of faith, the Shraddha that Sri Radharaman has on the Harinam, it was immense, oceanic, eternal. That's why he chants Harinam and he can walk on water. When this fallen soul will achieve Shraddha on that level, well, by Nitai Kripa, everything is possible. Let's continue. This was his usual practice. He always reached the destination without making any inquiries. Even if the place was new to him, if someone asked, "Are you acquainted with this place?" he replied, "If not, Nitai is." Nitai and his name are one. Oh, Baba is explaining right here. This is exactly what I just spoke 1 minute ago. Listen. If not Nitai is. Nitai knows. If I don't know, Nitai knows. Nitai and his name are one. Nitai is always with us in the form of his name. Is there any place in the universe which is not known to Nitai? Chanting the name of Nitai, you can go anywhere and you will always reach the destination. If the name fails to take us to the place where we want to go in the material world, how should we believe that it can take us to the eternal spiritual world of our Lord? This is the logic, so beautiful. If the name cannot take us from a destination in this same country, in the city, so how the name will take us to Nitya Lila, right? Beautiful. You need to have no doubt that the name cannot only carry us where we want. There is nothing that the name cannot do for us, if only we have a pure mind and faith in it. Pure mind and faith in it. Babaji reached the temple where vigrahas of Gaura Nitai given by Gaura Nitai themselves to their devotees, Gauri Das Pandit, are worshipped even today. He danced and sang before them for 2 hours. At about 11 o'clock, the Goswamis of the temple came and said, "Prasad will soon be ready. You may all kindly take Prasad here after you have bath and attend to your morning service." There was no end to Baba's happiness on this, because he regarded it as the invitation from Nitai Gaura themselves. After making prasad and resting for some time, Babaji Mahasai and his party went out for darshan of various places in Kalna. When they reached the temple of Namabrahma, where exists the Samadhi tomb of Siddha Bhagavan Das Babaji, his foremost disciple Sri Vishnu Das Babaji accounted him as Bratuspura, nephew, and embraced him very lovingly. The reason why he thus addressed him was that the three great Siddha Purushas, Sri Jagannath Das Babaji, Sri Chaitanya Das Babaji, Sri Bhagavan Das Babaji, loved one another like real brothers, although the mode of Upasana or Bhajan taught which each had become Siddha was different. This is also a very important line here. The three Siddhas connected from Gaudiya. The Upasana, the practice of them were different, and they achieved perfection through that practice. So I want to do an accent here on this line, special to remark this line, because Vaishnavas, there is not only one process. Some people in the shadows of ignorance of or misleading ideas, they tend to say or to think that there are only one way of making the things. This is and that's it. But it's not. Every Vaishnava find their own way to Krishna, to Radha Krishna, to the Nitya Lila, Nitai Gaur. And here is confirmed. These three Siddha Mahatmas, they have different upasana, different way of doing the practice, the sadhana, the meditation, etc. So there is room for that also in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. The way of Nityananda Prabhu was not the same way that Sri Gauranga. The way of Advaita Chandra was not the same way that Nityananda Prabhu. Indeed, between Advaita Chandra and Nityananda Prabhu, there were sometimes discussions, sweet discussion anyways about tattva and about so many things. So this shows and proves that there is not only one way of walking. The Shastra is there, but there is a little bit of swing that will fit better for you to achieve the goal. They address one another as Dada, brother. According to this relationship, Gaurahari Das Babaji, the sannyas guru of Barha Babaji, who was a disciple of Sri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, was a nephew of Bhagavan Das Babaji. Vishnu Das Babaji was very happy to meet Barha Babaji and insist that he must stay with him in the temple of Nama Brahma for at least a month. Barha Babaji could not but accede to his request. He passed 1 month in the temple of Nama Brahma in dance and kirtan and in sweet conversation with Vishnu Das Babaji, after which he went to the village known as Gurap. As you can see here, also interesting that Barha Babaji was around and was very loved by all the Siddha Mahatmas of his time. So don't believe when people think that Barha Babaji created his own philosophy and that he split from Gaudiya Vaishnava. No, at all. The texts, the biographies are telling how all the Siddha Mahatmas love Barha Baba, love him. We have here more proofs and more proofs. There is a big fear about Barha Babaji Maharaj because his way of sannyas, his way of teaching, his way of acting with everyone is a little bit too high level for many to achieve. So it's better, and also because he keep the traditional form of no Shanti Mahamantra Hare Krishna in Kirtan, but only in Japa, traditional form that the sadhus were using also back in time, the big Siddha Mahatmas. So there is a little bit of fear, I feel, about Barha Baba. Too much power, too much light, too much love, that it doesn't help for commercial ideas. Chapter 16, Navadvip, Death and Revival. Oh, Krishna, this is a beautiful, beautiful lila. Chapter 16. In Gurap, Baba Mahasai danced and sang before the deities of Radha Vallabh in the temple during morning and evening. In the next morning he wanted to leave, but unfortunately all his companions were taken ill with malaria. The Goswamis of the temple, who had already requested him to stay on in the temple for a few days, came and said, "Now you see, Radha Vallabh also want to enjoy your company for some time more. How can you leave when everybody is ill?" So all of them had to stay on. Toward the evening, there came an astrologer and began to read everyone's hand. When he saw the hand of Navadvip Das Babaji, he was taken aback. He kept gazing at him for some time. Everyone thought that there was something extraordinary in the hand, which may be very auspicious or very inauspicious. They want to him to declare what it was. He said, "I shall let you know about it in private. But Babaji Mahasai said, "Why in private? In this world, good and evil go together, and everything happens at the will of the Lord. So there is no harm if you say it before the person whom it concerns." The astrologer said, "I do not know what I should say. As far as I can see, the life term of this young man has come to an end. If there were any means by which he could be saved, I would have suggested, but his death is so sure that it cannot be prevented by any mean." Navadvip Das laughed and said, "I knew this already. The astrologer who made my horoscope at the time of my birth was most competent. He had predicted from my horoscope that I will die in the first half of the month of Pausha in the year 1895. He had also predicted the disease of which I will die. The astrologer said, "As far as I can see, you should die of fever and cough." Navadvip said, "Yes, that astrologer had also said the same, but there is nothing to worry about it. For me, it will be a matter of a great pleasure if I die in such a good company." Jai Ho, Navadvip Das Ki Jai Ho! But it was a matter of the greatest concern for all others because Navadvip Das was their life and soul. They could hardly live without him. They believed that Babaji Mahasaya could save him, but he looked so indifferent. When they asked him about Navadvip's fate, he said, "What do I know? Navadvip Nitai Cham knows what he wants to do. Whatever he do is always for our good. You need not get agitated. Chant Harinam." Navadvip's condition worsened. Both fever and cough went on increasing, till one day he became so weak that he was not able to speak. Babaji Mahasaya asked everyone to surrender him and perform kirtan. Navadvip looked at Babaji Mahasaya for the last time and somehow folded hands to bid him farewell. Babaji's eye became wet. He shouted, "Jai Nitai! Jai Nitai!" The next moment Navadvip breathed his last. But Navadvip was not only the life and soul of every member of the party of Babaji Mahasaya, he was also the most beloved one of Babaji himself. How cold he let him go. He asked his companions to take him out of the room. They took him out. Babaji Mahasaya lifted him up and clasped him with both of his arms. Navadvip's head lay motionless on Babaji's left shoulder and his eyes were turned upwards. All others wept and they sang kirtan around him. The kirtan went on, and after some time Navadvip Das opened his eyes and lifted his head from the shoulder of Babaji Mahasaya, looking all around. Then Babaji Mahasaya let him off and began to dance and say, "Bol Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol." Others also shouted, "Bol Nityananda Bol, Nityananda Bol." Once more Babaji Mahasaya tied Navadvip Das in his arms and let him off. The moment he let him off, he also began to dance in ecstasy. Dance and kirtan went on for some time. There was no end to everyone's happiness. When the kirtan was over, Babaji Mahasaya said to Navadvip, "This time Nitai have given you a new lease of life. Go and roll in the dust where his kirtan was performed." Navadvip Das smiled and said, "I know, you can kill or revive as you will." He then began to roll in the dust. Rolling, he went and sat near the feet of Barha Babaji Mahasaya. After making obeisance to him, others also made obeisance to him and sat down at his feet. Gokula, a member of the party, asked, "Baba, it is possible to save a man after his term of life is over?" "Why not?" replied Baba. "When people run short of money and have nothing to eat, don't they borrow?" "Money can be borrowed, but it is possible to borrow life?" Gokula asked again. Baba said, "Everything is possible for Nitai. Leave aside the revival of a man who is dead. Nitai can make even a doll live and speak like a man." Jai Ho, Jai Ho, Jai Ho. Beautiful. Beautiful Lila. In the next episode, we will read the Babaji Mahasaya's fever. I hope you are doing great and you enjoy this reading. All the blessings to you and family, that everyone will be good. Chant Bhajanita Go Radhe Shyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram out loud for the benefit of the universe. Do your japa in intimacy in your heart, remembering Radha and Krishna's service to Nitai Gaur. Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Big blessing to you all. Thanks for watching. Bless me with your comment, like and share if my work is good. Thanks for tuning. See you in the next. Jai Mahavira Radharamana ki Jai, Nitai Gaura ki Jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam.